All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Black Monday. The Black Monday, the blackest of Mondays, guys. I think we all got scammed to think that the crypto markets were going to open up bearish. But, guys, the 9:30 came around and we just smashed into 80K Bitcoin. And we are $81,000 Bitcoin. Look at this, everyone. So welcome. I hope that you caught a little bit of this volatility because holy moly, we are swinging around. Bitcoin is swinging for the fences. We had the predicted Black Monday to open on the stock market here, and it was the futures were opening up in the red, opening up at 4% down, -4% just yesterday. But then if you look here, if you look at the S&P 500, if you look at the S&P 500 right now, if it'll load, let's check it. We need to refresh the page because it is not going. Oh, we had it already up. That's why. Okay, there's the S&P. All right, so let's get back to Bitcoin. I think we're probably just maybe the markets are just going absolutely wild right now, so nothing wants to load. What is going on? Okay, well here you go. Here's the S&P. You can see how we opened up here. Nothing wants to work. Why is nothing working? There we go. I think we're recovering. You can see here we have this level, and bear with me, guys. I don't know why my internet is just being a butt. So you can see here, this was the stock market, or at least for the S&P 500, was the bottom where before we broke out in April 2024, around the same date of where we're at right now. So it's the 7th. So you think right here we basically bounced technically right off of this level. So we need to hold strong, guys. I think this is such a playbook of, look, here you go. Here's all the bearish news. You know, we had Jim Cramer predicting a 1987 style crash. And then we have the S&P 500 forward total returns after CNBC marks a market in turmoil special. So then it just seems like this is what they are planning. That's what they were planning to do, is just say, hey, we're going to, the whole narrative right now is going to be markets crashing in turmoil. We got more pain to go. Then if indeed the tariffs are working and we have the global markets opening up like this, we had some capitulation, obviously, but I think we're seeing the bounce because we see a lot of countries are now wanting to make some deals with the United States, and they do not want to look like this. They do not want to look like they're being left out. And also, if you shorted this market open today, especially in crypto, this is how you are currently feeling. But hopefully we can catch the momentum. What we did, we didn't take profits of 100% right at the top here. It was tricky because it's just happening so fast. But what we did is we did go long. So we said, look, we analyzed the markets today and we told ourselves it's because everyone is so bearish. Just maybe crypto will open up bullish. And so that's what happened. We had Bitcoin open up very bullish. If we can get back to, let's look at Bitcoin on this chart. We'll look at Bitcoin on this particular chart. We just bounced hard up to 81,000, and now we're taking a bit of a plunge. You can see these scammy wicks. So some scammy wicks happening. We had some volume come in, but it looks like we're actually going to get a bounce. Let's look at we actually get a clean bounce, and as long as we can hold these key levels, hopefully I can get back to these key levels where we actually need to hold. Because these charts are not loading. TradingView is just having a very hard time right now. It's either my computer or it's TradingView itself. But welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a good Monday. This was the Black Monday we were waiting for, and for crypto, it really opened up fairly bullish. Yeah, LNP needs some strong coffee and some Dramamine. Yeah, I reminded my wife, she was talking about some stuff with her job, and she's like, man. And I was like, well, babe, just remember, I was like, the people that were in the stock market just got wiped out of like $5 trillion. So there's people that like just basically lost it all. Like there's some people that just it hit them hard. So I said, don't feel too bad. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's let the market breathe a little bit here, because it seems like there's a lot of swinging volatility here. There's a lot of swinging volatility. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. We're going to look at gold. We're going to look at some of these altcoins. We're going to look at ETH. ETH went as low as its 2023 price. That is crazy. So, I mean, ETH is just punishing us right now. Went as low as $1,400 for one ETH. This was the price of ETH back in 2023, everyone. My friends, that's painful, okay? We got very close and wicked to this 1,300. So we have to watch this, because this could be a potential bearish signal for us to test into some even lower lows for Ethereum. So I don't want to take that off the table, but this could also have been the bounce point, because you can kind of see where this previous wick was right here, kind of sitting on that 200-day moving average as well, which is a good sign. You know, it's bouncing off the 200-day moving average, and then it traded under right here. And then once, you know, now that we've been under it for so freaking long, we gotta get close. We gotta get close. But it is possible that we could go lower with ETH. Benjamin Cohen's kind of on that case where it could go a little bit lower. Let's pull up Benjamin Cohen's tweet real quick. It's all about Ethereum coming home. Ethereum coming home. And this is interesting. And then we're talking the same breakdown as he mentioned on YouTube a couple days ago. He said to expect a bounce after the S&P sweeps the low from a year ago, which happened today. So this was the bounce on the S&P that basically sweeped that low for the S&P. And I do apologize, my charts are moving very slow. But this is the bounce, though. That was the bounce. It wicked a little bit. It wasn't an exact bounce, but it's pretty telling that this could act just like this, where we springboarded and made new all-time highs for the S&P 500. And you can look at maybe the Russell too. You could look at the Russell and show that on those same points in 2023, and also in April of 2024, we also had a really nice bottoming and bounce here to bring it up to 245. You can see here gold. Let's look at gold in April in 2024, or let's see, June, July, August. Let's see. About right there. Yeah, so it's interesting that everything in last year around April bottomed and then went on a rally. So, and this was, if we go off of historical patterns of the halving years, so if we have the halving years, we have post-halving years. During the halving years is when we kind of get a bit of we get the bull market going in the forward motion. And then the post-halving year is where we get the most volatility, but then the biggest moves towards the 2-3 months at the 520-day average move of Bitcoin. This is after the halving. So post-halving, we're getting close to being about a year anniversary of the fourth halving for Bitcoin. So, and historically, we've had the biggest runs in the top of the market, or at least for Bitcoin, hit this, and this is interesting, this possible bounce zone, possible key support bounce zone. Ooh, and we marked that too. We said, look, this is key support where Bitcoin could bounce out of all of this volatility with the stock market, with all the volatility of the tariffs, with all the volatility of the geopolitical, kind of uncertainty here with the trade deals, NAFTA, all that stuff. This was a key bounce level that if we could bounce and hold, then we could be actually looking like kind of a inverse pattern here to crank back up into the 90K regions. We can liquidate all those bears and we can go to Valhalla together. But this is interesting. We did bounce off of this key support, so hopefully we can hold it. We can hold that key support and we can continue the gains to the upside. But we are happy you guys are here. So CZ, yes, I saw that in the comments. So CZ is being appointed as a crypto strategic advisor for Pakistan. This is great, and I'll tell you, the Pakistani people are bullish USA and bullish Trump. Actually, I talked to a few Pakistanis in Dubai when I was there, and I got an interesting perspective from every single one of them, and they were all pro-Trump. They wanted Trump to win. They said if Trump can get into office, we can actually squash a lot of the territory wars. The borders will get a little bit safer, and there will be less, terrorist organizations that are going to want to try and pull some stuff, because they saw how when certain organizations tried to pull some stuff, they got images, they got drone strike imagery, like with a piece of paper on a printout, handed to the general and be like, I know where you live, right? So that's kind of the boss move that Trump has played with his current, previous administration, and now with this administration. I'm sure with all of the things that we don't even know have been in discussion and talks, that I think there could be some green lights coming down the road. Some green lights. We've had a lot of yellows to red. We've had a lot of red lights. A lot of things that we've had to overcome. But I think with this whole tariff thing and the percentages and the reciprocal tariffs, it seems like the countries are playing ball. Like they're wanting to, they're putting pauses on I think it's Trump has announced that they're putting pauses on tariffs on all countries except China. So if the countries are willing to come in and make a deal, then this is how I think Trump and his administration are playing these chess moves with these countries to say, hey, look, you guys already had tariffs on us to begin with. We've been doing these terrible deals that we didn't necessarily really sign up for. And the only way we're going to make it right is if you cooperate, and if you don't cooperate, we're going to tax and tariff the crap out of you. So I would imagine that these countries are going to be like, okay, well, let's figure something out. And then once they figure it out, hopefully it benefits both parties. It would suck to have these deals go and then be like, okay, well, these countries got the shit end of the stick. And I think if Trump is smart with his administration, they'll make sure it's a two-way, street. It's not a one-way street where it's like it's all benefits just America. Like it has to work for both parties, and I think that's how the art of the deal is going to be successful with this current administration, is make sure that these countries, whenever they're making these deals, they actually feel good about it and they want to work with us, because then it'll be like a good reciprocal or a good relationship between these countries. Maybe it wasn't good before, and maybe we can make it better. Because that's the thing with Trump, is like when I've heard him speak about how you have to go in and it's all about trade. It's all about the art of the deal. Literally a book that he wrote called The Art of the Deal. And so I would imagine he's really good at it. So let's have some faith that the moves that are happening currently right now are hopefully going to benefit the American people, but also the people that are in the deal on the other side. Because then it will make them incentivized to keep working with America, working with, our deals. And hopefully we can all ride to Valhalla together, to the upside. That's what we hope. Okay, so another bullish news, breaking news. We have Federal Reserve holds closed meeting on rates. So this was inevitable, that the Feds and Jerome Powell were going to be pressured into making a quick decision into cutting rates. They might have been on the side of not actually cutting rates yet until like towards the end of the year, but that's not sustainable and it's not feasible. And honestly, I think there's going to be huge implications if they don't make a move now. So they want to refinance this debt. So there's the words and the things from the grapevine is that the Trump administration is wanting to refinance this debt, this deficit that we have. So if we're able to refinance this debt at a cheaper interest rate, then we can actually, then they're going to turn the money printer back on. There's going to be some type of way. I mean, I'm not going to fully act like I understand how they're going to do it, but I would imagine it's going to have a combination of this Bitcoin reserve acquiring. They're going to assess how much gold we actually do have. They're going to, this is why they're auditing with Doge to be able to actually see what we have as value in the country. And so it's so hilarious that these people that don't want that to happen are 100% the people that are probably committing the most fraud and don't want their slush fund money to go away. So that's one facet. But then you have just went blank. Sorry, but it's just it's crazy. Like it blows my mind that we're trying to actually figure out where our money's going, and there's people that are mad about that. Especially some of these politicians. They're up in arms. They're up in arms about it. I wonder why. The loudest person about this particular subject is probably the one that is being either paid by the people that are slushing the money, or they're slushing the money themselves, just like the Elizabeth Warrens and the Nancy Pelosi's and the, you know, all those people. It's a damn shame. But all right, let's get back into the charts. I finally caught a fart coin long. It says, so I told myself, I'm going to catch this damn fart. I'm going to catch it in a jar. So we got it. Lord have mercy. We were trying to catch it because every time we're like, fart coin always is the leading indicator of a bullish market. We saw everything was in the red and fart coin was up 1%. I said, let's freaking smack that fart. Let's go. We got to get into the long. So we finally did it, guys. We finally did it. I hope you're doing well. I hope you got into a fart coin long as well. Smash up the likes. There are not enough likes being smashed or destroyed. We got a lot of viewers on X right now. We got a lot of viewers on X. So, hey, if you guys on X would do me a favor and repost the stream, if all 59 of you reposted the stream right now, it would blast these numbers through the roof. And also, if you hit the heart button, hit that little awesome heart emoji while you're at it. That would be really, really cool. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you want to or haven't followed me yet on @DanoCrypto904 on x.com, we stream here. You can see here. You can catch the stream right here. And if you want to or don't have to hear me triple double, but let's see. I want to go to the chat. Where's the chat? Let's load this chat and say hi. Say hi. Say hello. I will respond to you. But you can even go as far as going to the YouTube link as well. And even if you still like watching on X, come to the YouTube and hit the like button over here because it just helps the algorithm. It totally helps the algorithm. It's like, you still like it. It's free. It's also free too. It doesn't cost any money. It does not cost any money to just be bullish on someone's channel. It's absolutely free. Okay. All right. Fart coin's coming back. Fart coin's coming back, baby. I think we're going to add to the fart coin long, actually. We're going to add to the fart coin long. Because we are bullish fart coin every freaking time This thing will just rip. It's like a bullish indicator of heat rising in the market. I'm so fascinated by how Fartcoin has been able to be so resilient with the bearishness of the meme coins, the Solana, and this thing just keeps the liquidity, keeps trucking on. And I don't want to be that person, just like I was with Pepe. I faded Pepe. I faded so many good things that I could have just been like, why is this so obvious? It's just like Ticker Bitcoin. Ticker Bitcoin was just like an obvious, I laughed. It makes anything that makes you laugh. It's almost, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room and they can be like, whoa, I didn't want to buy a Fartcoin because, I mean, it's a fart. Why would I want to buy something like that? What do you mean why you wouldn't want to buy something like that? It's freaking called Fartcoin. It just plays on every kind of immature thing that you could imagine in comedy. Smart people buy with volume. Smart people are buying Fartcoin, sir. Yes, I know. That's what's hilarious. I think you're totally right. There 131,000 holders, and it's still going strong. It's just been blowing my mind, and what's crazy is that I don't even own any Fartcoin. I don't own any Fartcoin. I have not bought any Fartcoin. I'm trying to trade it. I'm trading Fartcoin. I know, and that's the thing, that like there could be a self-destruction moment. There could be just a massive capitulation, a capitulation. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, if anything, I like to look at certain Solana coins that have been following Solana. Like Fartcoin is a good one that's followed Solana. Bonk is another one that's followed Solana really well. Ponky was following Solana well, but I don't know what happened to that. It's just kind of, I don't know what the hell's going on with Ponky. I'm starting to lose faith. Starting to lose faith in some of these coins, because some coins have been deemed like forced memes or, forced communities that seem like they have organic, growth, but you just don't know how organic it is. But I'll tell you what does feel super organic is the Ticker Bitcoin community, because there's no, I never get there's no bots. There's no bot accounts with Ticker Bitcoin community. It's just like real Ticker holders that are smart, artsy, funny, and they come in droves. You post something, and you post that ticker, and they're coming in. They're going to help your analytics. I need help with my freaking computer right now. Oh my gosh, it's it's just, why? Why are you doing this to me right now today? Okay, we're getting back bullish. Okay, so let's compare, because we're on Bitcoin right now, but let's look at Sol. I mean, yeah, I guess XRP, LMP is wondering if anyone's buying XRP. I mean, now that XRP is below that $2, where is our XRP? If you were like, dang it, I missed that run. So $1.90. There's still some people that think that XRP could go lower, but I mean, if the whole market right now for at least crypto, and we're seeing a decoupling, like people were so bearish on the stock market, and now it's almost like they're going into crypto. It's like crazy. It's like the stock market was almost too volatile for people in the stock market. Now we're going into crypto. But you got to remember that XRP though, from where it just pumped was from 40 cents. So we got to make sure that XRP doesn't have any more dumpage to go, because you could catch a super low price. But if you think that XRP is going to $5 or $10, $1.90 is still pretty cheap. So it all just depends on what your risk tolerance is and what's your trajectory. Are you just trying to trade it for this year? Well, okay, then maybe you're gonna get from $2 to $5 possibly towards the end of the year. Could get a $5 XRP if it breaks out of the patterns that we were looking at. I think a lot of TA guys were looking at that XRP price for breaking out for that $5. I think we had it marked on our chart too. You know, this is kind of an obvious level of resistance. I think if we can break through 330, then, you know, it's just an easy kind of measured range of where we could break out to, and then possibly cool off. And you just don't know. We really just don't know when it comes to XRP. It's a tricky one. Now with Solana, I have a good case that now that we basically went, I mean, we bounced off of this low right here, this 99. I mean, it went as low as 96, and then from that 96 previous support, we went as high as $200. So, I mean, this is kind of what I'm looking at for Sol. That's why I went long Sol, and I want to be long on Solana native tokens, because if we're going to get a recovery here, this looks like it could be a nice W-shaped recovery back up to the 200-day moving average. And as long as we can keep trades open and protected up until that point, that's going to be some massive returns on Solana. But let's compare some of these coins that I think follow Solana really well. One of them was Bonk, and we don't get a lot of talks about Bonk right now because I think a lot of coins like Fartcoin are taking market share. And so let's look at something like Bonk. So you can see here how Bonk follows Solana really, really well. You can see as every time Solana has pumped here, you have Bonk follows it just full on. And you can see here, let's go here and let's go and add let's add the Fartcoin, and we'll do a new price scale. This one from this point it didn't pump super hard right here, but right here was when it really started to follow Sol. Like once it got up to 270, we had Fartcoin really cranking up. So if you look at the daily, that was when we had, that was also the peak of the market too. You know, it was January. We had everything was cranking. $1.5 billion to, I think it peaked up at about almost $3 billion. But then you look at what was happening with Sol at the time too. Sol was peaking at 270. It wicked up to about 300. So this is why, like, if we can get, which I think we will, we'll get these Solana coins like Bonk and Fartcoin, and they will start to fly. But then let's actually look in the Solana ecosystem real quick. We'll go to Sol and let's see what's trending. Let's see what's just trading in the highest volume right now on Solana. So one of those coins is Trump. So the Trump coin, I don't know. Like I have stayed away from the Trump coin because of the nature of the tokenomics. They're just god awful, just terrible. But if you look at the coins that you can trade in high volume on Solana right now. Is Render. Render is super bullish. We talked about Render because AIXBT, this was a coin that he was saying, look at the metrics on Render. Was it Render? No, it wasn't Render. It was Near. I was getting those confused. But yeah, no, but Near. Render for AI is a top pick. Like with all the big crypto guys and the influencers, Render is a good pick, and it's cool that you can also hold it on Solana. And if you notice here, you got Aave and Chainlink. You can hold Chainlink and Aave on Solana with good liquidity. So Solana is becoming that chain where you can hold really bullish tokens like Aave that were originally, and like Chainlink that were originally just ERC20 tokens, multi-chain. I mean, you can hold Chainlink on Pole, on the Polygon ecosystem. So this is kind of like your hack of what coins that you can hold on Solana that are just trading good volume, but then also whenever Solana pumps, then these could, you know, especially if they're native. So if they're native coins like Bonk and, you know, Fartcoin, what's another Jupiter, Radium, you know, the DEX tokens, Orca, stuff like that. I think the liquidity is going to come in really, really heavy when we start to get, you know, the moves that we want. And now that we're back in the ranges, we bounced. That was a fake out. If you read the title right, you read the thumbnail right, I think Black Monday for crypto was a total scam. I think the whole narrative was being played to make you super scared and make you think like, all right, I guess I need to short this. You know, I need to short this market coming up on Monday. But it looked like we really, really, like, yeah. And I'm still, yeah, and stay calm. I'm still curious about Dog with Hat. You know, there's a lot of controversy with Dog with Hat. You can see it's still one of the highest traded volume tokens on Solana. The controversy with Dog with Hat is that there were funds that were reserved to go to a advertisement campaign, one ad on the Sphere. It never happened. And everyone, and the people that have put money towards that, they're wondering like, hey, what's going on? Why hasn't this happened yet? And then there was news during the bearish downturn. You guys remember at the same time, the Sphere came back and said, we've never even been contacted by them. We have no deal set up. We don't know what they're talking about. And we have people like, what? What do you mean? And so that made WIF super bearish. This was at its point where it was starting to get back up. It was like people were starting to get, you know, it was looking like it was getting back up into its you know, over $2 ranges. And then at that point, that was when that bearishness happened and it went kaboom. So I just don't know about Dog with Hat. I don't know. It's like, seems like one of those coins that it could just easily like you could just lose confidence in because of something like that. But here's the thing. Oh, I know. Well, that's the thing about Pepe is like a lot of these coins. Here's the thing. Headband's totally right. Read Headband's comments because it's true. Because there's a meme coin goes through so many. A true meme goes through multiple like lifetime cycles of capitulations. You have whales that had tokens possibly early or had a lot of supply. They end up selling. You have community takeovers, CTOs. You have, I mean, it's just like there's so much. There's FUD attacks. If it's true or not, I mean, if it is true, then the coin is experiencing that. I mean, there's so many things that happen to coins like Pepe where they pump right off that first blow, like 2023. You got to remember around like I think it was like January, February, March, April. I think it was like March or April 2023. I think is when Pepe and Mog and there was a lot of coins that kind of those blue chip memes, those ERC20 memes, you know, the ETH memes. We'll just go to them real quick. They're right up at the top. You just hit liquidity, and you got Pepe, Mog. I think the Malay. Well, that was 3. That was a little more recent. The ticker Bitcoin. These things have all gone through multiple events of it is what it is. So you really don't know. You just have to, you just have to become a believer and a community member of the coin. And then you have to be like part of, it's almost like being a part of like an administration. You know, you're like part of the Trump administration and you're just like, okay, we gotta trust that the quote, if you're like if you're on the Pepe side, or if you're like on ticker Bitcoin, you're like, you're just hoping that everything lines up in the favor of the administration through all of the decisions of the collective. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Am I talking crazy? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, we truly don't know, but we do know that memes are able to survive through a lot of craziness. And you just hope that you can hold through the craziness, because I think you will be rewarded. Like the people that were able to hold SHIB and Dogecoin and Pepe, Floki. Think about Floki. I love using Floki as an example because it surprised the shit out of me. When ETH went up 20%, Floki went up 1,000%. And I don't think anyone was expecting that, really. Like, no one was expecting Floki to dominate like it did. That caught me so off guard, that Floki run from the beginning of the year. Look at this crap. I mean, like, what the freaking crap? Look at how much this thing went up. When ETH went up only 20%. ETH went up 20%, and this thing flew 1,000%. It went up 1,000%. It even tested and made a brand new all-time high off of this high after the fact. This is what is even more bullish on memes that can survive. Look at this crap. And then it went up another 200%. So say you caught the 1,000% run, 800% run, shave some off there, then you notice that stuff is starting to go again. Oh my gosh. And now you can see here, this is every meme right now. But not as much strength, it could be that it tested the one all-time high and then it's just been like this, So imagine, it does this, and most of those, a lot of these memes, it kind of just went like this. And we've been waiting to kind of get that test again. But if we're going like this chart, it's just crazy. 3 different times it comes back into these ranges from these lows. I hope everyone's doing well. I think we're hitting 11 o'clock, so we got other people that were coming in at the time that we normally stream. We said we want to get this stream going. We had to get the stream going. The market was bullish, and woo. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. And I want to remind you guys, this is really cool. Where is that image? There it is. Okay, so over the past 90 days, we've had 12,774 new viewers. That's amazing. The 12,000 people have come to the channel to watch the content, whether it be a live stream or a video. And then you can see here that we've had 2,500 of those people be returning viewers. So that's even better. So you guys are awesome. I really want to thank you for coming to this channel. You could go to any other channel. And that's the thing with crypto. We bounce around. We go to different channels. And, so if you're picking mine, I really appreciate it. And I hope you come back and join us. We do these live streams Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes we do 2 streams a day. Just depends. But just make sure you're always coming and tuning into this normal live stream. We have the best community, really smart people that are part of the Dano Dojo crew. We have some traders, and we have some people that do some great TA. So make sure you get into the Discord. And easy way to get in the Discord. I think can you get into the Discord? Do I have a link to get in? I don't know if I have the same link, but we really appreciate you guys, you folks. We hope the bullishness continues today. We kind of missed the point of taking max profits, but there could be definitely a little bit more of an opportunity today if we can continue the momentum. I think people went a little too bearish. I think people went a little too bearish, thinking that because of this Black Monday for the stock market, that crypto was going to open up even more bearish. And it's this wick that we just had was really fascinating because this was a quick wick. I mean, we went up to 81 to test this level really fast. So could that be an indication of a scam wick and a dead cat bounce and then bringing us down to 69,000? Because we got this level marked at 69,000. We didn't want to take that off the table. We don't want to be fully perma disaster bull. We want to know that these levels, right? Because this was respected. This support level was respected. Could this one be respected as well between 69 and 66? This is where we have to really, really watch it. This level right here, if the market was able to bring it here, I mean, what's another disastrous crash? What's another disastrous crash? Could the bulls be willing to hold the line and not let the bears bring us in between 69.7 and 66.9? Because this is what we have to keep on the cards, keep it on the table. But if we're going to go more on the bullish side, then this area right here was massive support that brought us up. If you see these green candles, look at these green candles. This was the election pump. You know, this was election pump. I think right now what is the stuff that's doing some, let's look at the DEX. We like to go into, so this if you read Trump's tweet, panicking, he called us panicins. He called us panicins today. He said the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking, a new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient, and greatness will be the result. Panicins. So, of course, you know, the market is going to go right into making memes about being a panicking. So, this one right now is at 1.3 million. Let's see what's curated picks. Curated picks. Yeah, so there's going to be that narrative happening with the memes. If you're curious about that, you just have to kind of see what's going on. So if you go to Soul, and you can see Panic in here, that I think this is the one. I don't know, why am I not getting any images? I think my VPN is doing something. Give me a second. I need to just quit this. And let me refresh. I'm like, give me the, there we go. Yeah, this is banning the images. It's so weird. Okay. So this thing just kind of came out of nowhere, obviously. Like, it probably was made, it was made today. Let's see, it was made at 9 o'clock, probably like literally as the moment he posted that on Truth. I think people wait for Donald Trump's posts on Truth and then immediately make a meme. I think there's people waiting. It's almost like back in the day when memes were first becoming a thing. You're like wondering, like, how are people so fast? I think there's just people that are sitting, they're just waiting. Like, that is their job. They just wait to make the meme. But yeah, this narrative is playing out. Quick narrative. See how long it lasts. Being a panicking. Bitcoin looks like it is just swinging around. It's really volatile today. It is very, very volatile today. We need to get back and look at the trades. All right. Fart coin taking a bit of a plunge. Could we get a quick reversal? All right, I need to close some stuff. There's just way too many things open right now. Why? Nothing wants to load. So bad. All right, I have got to just like close some stuff. There's too many things open. It won't work. Okay. There we go. Could be a fake out. Could be a fake out. Gotta watch for these fake outs here. Today would be a great day to fake people out. That's what they just did this morning, so. Where's Soul? Where's Soul? Oh, man, 112. Man, okay. Give us some volume, baby. We need some volume. Come on, bring it to us. I feel like the order books are just jacked right now. Is anyone else experiencing this? Like, is anyone else experiencing just everything moving slow? Do you think it's just, there's so much action right now that it's just the order books that are trading view can't even keep up right now? I feel like that's what's happening. Like, why will nothing is working like I want it to? Oh, interesting. Okay, so where was there a CME gap somewhere? Pump up the volume. Dance, dance, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Yeah, I guess I need to do the pump song. Let's get the pump song on. We need the pump song. That's what we need. That's why it's not pumping. I'm wondering why it's not pumping. We didn't even put the pump song on. It's gonna dump, then we're gonna pump. All right. First we're gonna dump, then we're gonna pump. I don't like that wick. Don't like that wick, but hopefully it was just a teaser for what's to come. Just a teaser for what's to come. Where's Jason Casper when you need him? He could be my duo right now, you know? It's gonna dump, that we gonna pump. It's gonna dump, that we gonna pump. It's gonna dump, that we gonna pump the Bitcoin, baby, let's go. All right, everyone around the world, I need you to hit the like button. Everyone, the entire world. I need you. I need you with me today. I need you today. It is crucial. Nice. We got 60 people still on X. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this chart running. Let's show the world that crypto is where to be when the danger and the blood in the streets hits the stock market. stop loss? There is no stop loss. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's go. All right. That was fun. That was fun. All right, come on, Bitcoin. You can do it. You can do it. Don't fail us now. Don't fail us now. Don't fail me now. All right. So I think we're getting the bounce. We got a bit of a bounce on the stock market. We got a little bit of that bounce. And then down again. Tesla. Looks like gold hit a double bottom. Let's check silver. I'm telling you guys, I've been telling you, I think silver is gonna be the play. It's a little more volatile than gold, but if you look at the trajectory of what gold has done, and then you think what could be coming down the pipe for silver, could be a mega trade. And look, I love this. Rose has been really strong. One of those altcoins that has been able to, even through, you can see here when the altcoin season was cranking last year, this thing flew. This thing hit multiple all-time highs, 1, 2, 3. And then, like all the other altcoins, it got smashed. But then you can see here, during points of the bear market, it was able to kind of keep up some strength. It didn't went up a few times, but then you can see here is where it showed some even more strength right here, but didn't get back to, around this level right here is where we were wanting, kind of like a lot of other altcoins were able to get back into its second phase range. And you can see that if we can even just get back up to these levels, close to 17, and break through here, then the next level to think about. But even just going back to November 2024, December 2024, that was 14 cents. So, and then you're looking at this bottom. Oh my gosh! I mean, that's a freaking great return. Some of these alts are actually holding up strong against the stock market, and also, and what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a trend here. These strong coins that pumped really well last year in the previous cycles are looking like they're the ones to pick. You got the RWA narrative, which Ohm is doing really well on this. Ohm has been so strong. And then you have this I don't know about this ENA. I'm curious about this ENA. I thought this thing was going to be breaking out of a cup and handle, but it broke down off a cup and handle. Floki, we gave you the breakdown on Floki, why we think Floki could still do what it did when Ethereum starts to pick up speed. You got the SUI, H bar, and the Algorands. Your American-based coins, AVAX. These things are so cheap right now, it's insane. Just insane. Everything is on a massive, massive discount. Yes, I can. I was looking at the Dixie right now. So the Dixie, the dollar, looks like it kind of got a bit of a recovery here. It was trending down, and it still, I think, is going to still trend down. I think once we hit 99, this area, I think, is when the bull run will start. I think once we get down here and we caveat it with the interest rates, look at when the interest rates right here. Look, interest rates at 5 point whatever, all the way at the freaking top. And then look, here we're at like 4. What is it? What are the interest rates right now? Federal fund rate? It's like 4%, 4.2% or something. So imagine now, you get here and the federal and the rates go to like, I think if we can get here back down to 99, the rate would be about 3% or 3.2% or something. I don't know. It could get around that percentage rate. We get like a 50, 75 basis point cut for the rest of this year. And then we can get our run. I think that's when the run is really going to actually happen. And then also Bitcoin dominance needs to chill. Like Bitcoin dominance just needs to chill the freak out and go back down to like here. It needs to go back down to here so we can get our altcoins to freaking go. There's a lot of things and indicators and flashing indicators that need to happen for this to all play out. Lower interest rates, lower Bitcoin dominance, lower dollar strength, and more stable coins coming in. And a lot of the stable coins are being minted on Solana. They're being minted on Ethereum. They're being minted on Binance. They're being minted on Tron. So this is what we're looking at. And the feds, I think they're going to be aggressively cutting rates this year. They're holding a closed meeting on rates. So the Federal Reserve has scheduled a closed board meeting on today, April 7th, to discuss the advance and discount rates. Such meetings are part of the Federal Reserve's routine operations, though the closed nature of this meeting has sparked speculation among observers about potential emergency rate adjustments. No official announcement regarding policy changes have been made at this time. So, let's see. At what point did the Fed have an emergency rate cut change? I say, when did the Fed have an emergency rate cut change? What years did it happen? And how did it affect Bitcoin and the stock market? The Federal Reserve have implemented emergency interest rate cuts, unscheduled reductions outside of regular Federal Open Market Committee meetings several times in recent decades, typically in response to significant economic and financial crises. Below, I'll outline the notable instances since 1990 where the Fed had made such cuts. So, in 1998, there was the LTCM crisis context, the collapse of the long-term capital management and the Russian debt default. Financial markets faced significant turmoil. Rate change. The Fed cut the federal funding rate by 25 basis points, bringing it to 5% between the scheduled meetings. And the stock market impact, the S&P 500 had already dropped significantly in prior months. And the emergency cut helped stabilize markets, with the S&P 500 rallying afterward, gaining about 24% from the October low to the end of 1998. Check that out. So then we had the 2021, the dot-com bust. So the bursting of the dot-com bubble led to a sharp decline in tech stocks and broader economic slowdown. The Fed cut the rates by 50 basis points to 6% in an unscheduled move. The S&P 500 was down over 20% from March on the 2000 peak in January 21. The cut provided temporary relief, but the market continued to decline through 2001, exacerbated later by the 9/11 attacks, falling an additional 12.6 over the year. And there's a lot of controversy and some things and conspiracies that would lead to why the stocks and certain people had prior information and shorted the shit out of the market and knew that these attacks were coming into play. So big conspiracy there. It's not a theory. It's just that was 100% a fact. A lot of companies pulled out, and also there was some shady stuff happening where we're like, wait a second, how did they know this? How did they freaking know this? So then you go into September 2001. This was post 9/11. The Fed cuts rates by 50 basis points to 3% to restore confidence, and the S&P fell 11% in the week after reopening, but recovered somewhat by the end of the year, and ending 2001 down 13%. So these years were very, very controversial years with the attacks and just the post, happenings of coming out of that crisis. So then this one's key, I think. So let's see. The 2008 financial crash. Is the financial crisis worsened with Bear Stearns nearing collapse? The Fed intervened again. While not a direct rate cut, the Fed took emergency actions, lowering the discount rate, followed by a 75 basis point cut to 2.25% at the scheduled March 18th meeting. The earlier action signaled urgency, and then the S&P 500 was volatile, dropping 2.7 on March, and then stabilized briefly after the Fed's actions. But then, however, the year-end decline was severe, and it was down 38%. And Bitcoin was not yet active. And so then, out of the 2020 COVID crash, this is interesting. So the S&P had already fallen 20% from its February peak, and then we had, combined with this stimulus, halted the free fall, and the index surged 9.3% the next day, eventually gaining 16% by the year because of the injection of the stimulus and also the rate cuts, because it was unscheduled. They cut the rates by 100 basis points, basically bringing it almost to freaking zero, printed the money, and then you could see Bitcoin was trading at around 5,200 on March 16th after a 50% crash from the mid-February's. Following the cut and subsequent liquidity injections, it began a recovery, reaching $56,000 a year later, which is a gain over 970%. The Fed's actions, alongside Bitcoin's halving in May 2020, fueled a historic bull run. So, as of today, no additional emergency cuts have been confirmed since March 2020. However, speculation arose after weak jobs, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, another further emergency cuts in 2025 would depend on unfolding economic conditions, recession fears of Trump tariffs impact. Yeah, so interesting. There was a few times, obviously, the 2001 and 2008 were pretty bad, but then you can see in 1998 and also in 2020 is where we had the stock market actually rally after the Feds cut the rates. So yeah, we need all these things to line up together. Hugo is asking, when Casper collab? I don't know. You got to ask Jason Casper. No, we're gonna plan. We're planning it. He's a busy man, and we are going to make it happen. We are definitely going to make it happen. We're ready for it. We are for sure ready for it. Let's see that. Let's see what the hyper liquid traders are doing. Let's see what the hyper liquid traders are doing. All right, they're opening longs, 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 closing the shorts, closing the shorts. Looks like it's a half split of short and long. Like there's a half split of these traders being short and long all at the same time. See if there's any breaking news. Yeah, the Jim Cramer don't panic advice like just spurred some controversy. Man, 1.4 billion liquidated amid price fluctuations. And so China's stock market suffered worst single day crash since 2008. Yeah, and then the entire market turned green just an hour ago. So yeah, it's just swinging all over the place, guys. This is some volatility for sure, but we're liking it. We're going to take advantage of it. We're definitely going to take advantage of the volatility today as much as we can. I see a possible actually real recovery here. Man, Ohm just looks so freaking strong. What the freaking crap? What the crap? It really just looks so good. Why does it look so good? There's the volume that comes into this thing is just massive. And then look at this support here. Really good support. So if we can pull off a continuation of this area right here was really nice. 27% breaking up into a new all-time high, or close to it, is 45%. This thing is outperforming everything right now. It's outperforming everything in our list that we got going. Just looking good. And I love the name too. Ohm mantra, Ohm. What was the first sound of the universe? That was the first sound of the universe. Larry Jude 62 said, "Hey mate, I really enjoy your streams. You stream pretty cool and I love it. I'd love to be a part of your community. And do you have a Discord?" Yeah, as long as you are not a fake bot account and trying to scam me, then of course, yes, you can be a part of the community. It all depends. What are your motives? Oh my gosh. What is the deal with this coin? It's making me want to trade this thing. This is, look at where it got tested up in this point of control. Multiple different spots here that we can get support to get back up and to test these ranges here. We got a high value node coming up right up at $7.50. If we can continue the momentum, then things like this are going to freaking go ham. We got a Bollinger Squeeze. We're squeezing on the band here. When it starts to get kind of tight, I'm looking at Ohm right now, guys. If you're looking at something that's super strong, or you want to find something that's trading really strong off of all this volatility, well, I'm showing you right now. This is one of the tokens. You got Ohm, Caspa's trading really strong, Brett's trading pretty strong. We got, like I said, Rose was trading pretty strong. Sui was holding up. It kind of took a plunge, but I think it's coming in with massive volume right now. Render was trading pretty strong. Look, 4%. 4%. Let's see. Let's get these coins back up. Yeah, Render was trading really strong. Galo's coming up with some really good volume too. AVAX and Bonk kind of lagging behind. But yeah, these all doing actually really well on the day. And we don't want to forget about the liquidity tokens, or the, sorry, not the liquidity tokens, the DEX tokens, the DEX protocol tokens on Solana, like Orca and Radium. And then also, we want to keep our eye on Zeus. We've talked about the Zeus protocol. That is the Bitcoin DeFi on Solana. This is coming in with some good volume too. Traded off of its 200-day moving average, so it could be eyeing that 200-day moving average. You can look at a lot of these coins and say, okay, what are some good coins that I could accumulate that are under its 200-day moving average, and just know that like it was just there not that long ago. Now, if you think like, just go back into the end of March, the beginning of April, beginning of March right here, end of March, beginning of April, and we were just kind of skirting around these 200-day moving averages for a lot of coins. So now that we've had the capitulation, we had a nice dump. These are the times to start thinking about making whatever your entries are, whether it be your DCA bags or your trades, because I mean, think about it. If this is the bottom, you're looking at some massive returns. I mean, if this is even close to what the bottom is and this was it, to get back up to even just the 200-day moving averages, you're looking at an average of 60% for your altcoins. And you're looking at if you can sustain this, and it actually can break above all the 200-day moving averages and keep the momentum, and we get a 90K Bitcoin, then you're looking at 73% to 100% on average for a lot of your altcoins. Because a lot of these have been down over 100% over the past, since January. You look at Bitcoin since January, I mean, it's everything is down. Everything. So massive buying opportunities. This is where millionaires are going to be made. Today, I'm literally going through everything I can think of that I don't use actively, and I'm selling it. Like 100%, I am selling as much crap as I can to buy some crypto. I need more altcoins. I need more Bitcoin. I need more. And so I'm going on a selling spree today. You might see me on the damn side of the street. But I will tell you guys, here's a trading strategy. We were up in profit. We tried to take profits as fast as we could, but the markets were swinging. We see this wick, it was kind of hard to catch. Look at Fartcoin. The wick was hard to catch, so we did take profits. They weren't triggering, so we got as much out as we could just in case the market decided to go the other direction. We solidified about 60 bucks, and we're still unrealized profit 56. And so here's the strategy. Here's your rules that you can give yourself. Okay, I'm up in profit. I'm gonna set my stop loss at break even. Okay. I'm going to set my stop loss at break even. You can go right here and just set it right at break even at 0. You can even set it in profit. So you can set it in profit as well. But just a look, if you just want to be just super aggressive, you can say set a stop loss, break even, or take profit. And I'm just double checking and making sure all these are at break even. So then if I want to add to these trades, I can still reset the stop loss and bring it up a little bit, and also readjust some of my take profits as well. Now, with these particular trades, I'm wanting to keep these open as long as I can as long as the market can continue and doesn't bottom out at 69,000, then these trades are going to make a crap ton of money. And even with low margin, these can make a killing, especially if we do get a true bounce like what we've been speculating, the dubious speculation that we're doing right now today on today's live stream. But I will say, you know, we called it. We kind of called it, and we weren't like screaming off the rooftops like, hey, everybody, I'm long. But I said, look, I think this is a scam. I think this is a Black Monday scam for crypto. And if you were to go short and think that we were going to have more carnage coming up, you got fully wrecked. I mean, they wrecked the crap out of you. I didn't want to be one of those people. I almost went short. This morning thinking that I've been going long. I might as well just go short. I'm like, no, keep going long. What the hell's your problem? Don't quit. Don't let these assholes turn you into a bear. Excuse my language, but dang it. You're going to turn me into a bear. But either way, we're still protecting ourselves. So whether the market's going up or down, we're going to try and protect ourselves and have some fun while doing it. And are you guys having fun? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? If you are entertained and you have enjoyed the content so far and you want to post emojis and you want to be a part of the Dano Dojo crew and you want to become a member of the channel for less than a chocolate bar, chocolate? For less than a coffee, you could become a member. All you got to do is you click on this link here. You go to the channel, you go to the main channel, click on the channel here. You like my own stream, go here, go to memberships, and you can sign up. Super, super easy. And you won't regret it. Okay. We're cooking with some gas. All right, should we add to the trades? Because we do see some wicks, we do see some candles. We see some wickage here on the hourly chart. Looks like we could bounce back up to the point of control. So we could add, we're going to add to some trades. We're going to add to these trades. We're going to add to these reversals here. Just little liquidity here and there, just popping it in, popping it in. Nice double wick test, boom, boom. Let's see. I think easy. We get sold back going to about 114. That's the 20 SMA. 20 SMA on the Bollinger Band. 20 SMA on the Bollinger Band. We're just adding some liquidity in. And we're going to readjust the stop losses. Because here's the thing, guys, you might not know this, but if you add margin or if you limit order into your trade, it's gonna change your stop loss. It'll automatically change it. So if you don't go in and do it, it'll have it it'll change it for you and it'll bring it down to like negative 20 or negative 30. So just make sure when you're doing that and you're limiting back into your trades and you're hedging back in, make sure you're adjusting your settings on your trades as well. I think BTC's coming back. BTC's coming back up. On where? On which one? On what? The only indicators I really like to use, I just like using I like using the RSI. Like I'll use the RSI. I like this one too. This one's good. It's the EMA MA crossover. So what this does is it gives you the cross. So if the red line crosses over the blue line, then it can be bullish. And when the blue line crosses over the red, then it can be a bearish pattern and a continuation to the downside. Because you can kind of see it here play out, even on the 45-minute, the shorter time frames, that where it crossed here, we had a pretty nasty downturn. And you can see here when we crossed here to cross back, red going over the blue, then we had a nice little pump. You go to the 4 hour. You can see that it's might look a little bit bearish here. Oh, but I know what you're talking about. It's this one. It's the market cipher. Whoops. It's this one. Hold on, let me go. Let me make sure. Did I favor this one? So make sure I'm adding these to my favorites. I have to pay for my trading view because I'm like running out of. I'm like, when I try and add more indicators, it's like, you have the cheapest version. I'm like, shit. Okay, so yeah, I like to do the free version of Market Cipher B. Crypto Face would be like, you son of a gun. It's this one. So it's what it's doing. It's giving you these momentum waves. You get these trigger waves that come in, and on the 4 hour and the short time frames, like you go on like the 10 minute, you go on the 10 or 15 minute or the 5 minute, that's where you can really tighten in and say, okay, we're getting some more momentum. But also you want to look at the 4 hour, because then you can actually see where the momentum clips kind of happen. You can see where it starts to, the curvature, Crypto Face talks about the curvature. You want to have good curvature. And then once we get, a good confirmation of volume with the curvature, and you get a green dot, then you could possibly see some more movements to the upside. But it's all got to be a combined combination of bullishness. Just because there's a green dot doesn't mean that that's going to be our key. I also made an indicator myself, and I called it the Dano bullish bearish line. Where's my, I called it the Dano line. And whenever it's red like this, that's bullish. Whenever it's red, it's like you want to buy. It's like red, buy, green, sell. That's what I've noticed with this indicator that I've made with the 45-minute. You can see, or maybe on the 45-minute, maybe even on the, you can see here, look, whenever it's green, that's like a good time to start taking profits. It's almost like green profits. Take profits when it's green. When it's red, that's like a great time to buy. I've been testing this indicator out. I had to play around with a little bit, and I'd like to add in buy and sell indicators in here too. But this is one that I created myself. But we like just like the classic. We like the classic Bollinger Band. Oh, whoops. Just Bollinger Band. Man, these hyper liquid traders are whack. Jeez. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of long. Look at this cumulative long leverage liquidation map. Holy crap. At cumulative long liquidation leverage at price 73.1, at 73.1, they could completely destroy us. They would. I don't know if would they do that to us today. You think they'll do that to us today? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Kenyatta, that's actually the best one, the best free market cipher trading indicator that it's got pretty much kind of the basis of what the market cipher B has. And you can just you can combine that with a few different things. I mean, you just have that, and there you can even just go as easy as, look, here's the, you can actually even see whenever the 200-day, or whenever the 200-day gets close with the 20, or wherever it crosses. But that's probably not a good cross here that you can measure. But even just having the Bollinger Bands on the 200-day is a good measure. Did I have it? Is it live? I don't even know if you can. I have to source code. Okay, that's in. All right, I have to figure out how to put it in there for you guys to actually test it out if you want to. Just calling it the Dano line. Man, really got to watch these freaking charts, man. These freaking wicks, dudes. Don't wick like this. Just like let it steadily grow, you asshats. So I can't stand the unregulation in these trading markets. I think do we really want it to be the Wild West? Because at the end of the day, it's like the people that actually benefit from the manipulation is the people that have massive amounts of money. And then you think about it, the people that are actually really just kind of trading with, they're, trading like we are, we're the ones that end up getting hurt the most by the unregulation and the freaking offshore crap that Binance does, and all these exchanges are doing. And I'm about ready to be like, you know what? Let's shut it down. Let's shut them down. Shut them down. Where's Gary? Where's Gary Gensler? Shut them down. Because if they weren't able to do this, then it wouldn't wick like this. It wouldn't do that. It wouldn't do this. Bitcoin would not do this crap right here if it wasn't for those son of a guns. That's what I'm telling you. It's just a fact. This would not be happening if it wasn't for those treacherous offshore exchange movements and manipulation. It's just ridiculous. It's just flat out ridiculous. Key support, bounce zone. All right, well, I think I've entertained you guys enough. We appreciate you very much, and we hope to see you on the next live stream. Thanks for all of the viewers. If you're real, I hope you're real. I hope this isn't 61 bots. It would be cool if you guys are actually real. And if you are real, just make sure you take this live stream and you repost it, restream it, or reshare, and also hit the heart on the live stream as well. All you got to do, yeah, because look, if there's 61 of you in here, if I get 61 hearts, this will blast my metrics through the roof. And if I got 61 people to repost this, I mean, this would go through the freaking roof, guys. I mean, this is what we need, just organic growth. And this is how you do it. By crowd participation. Crowd participation. It's the only way. And again, I'll encourage you guys, whoever, 7 people. I know all 7 of you got about $2 or $3 that you can spare for the month, and you'll become a glorious member of the channel. You get to send emojis, and we're going to do members-only live streams, of course. And we can have open-ended conversations and talk about all your favorite coins, and just, not even just talk about crypto, but we can just get into the weeds together. But with that being said, we will see you on the next live stream. We'll see what's going on for later today. We might come back and stream some of the volatility. But we are super happy that you came in today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.